Welcome, everybody, tonight. My name is Dr. Kat, and you'll be hearing from me a little bit later on, but I'm here to introduce you tonight to Dr. Kathleen Kangas. She is a military wife, a mom of 2 boys, and a stepmom to 4 girls. She owns a part-time physical therapy practice specializing myofascial release and women's health in Panama City, Florida. She has been growing her LifeVantage micro franchise for the better part of 13 years and was recently recognized for cumulative group sales of over 15 million. She's an executive leader in our company and a business mentor of mine and to many others as well. And all of this is done while she lives a very busy mom life, maintaining her fitness and helping women recover from chronic pain and dysfunction. And so without further ado, I turn it over to you, Kathleen.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and share my screen, everybody. There we are. So thank you all for being here, for coming in tonight. I just want a little housekeeping. If you could just, turn your phones off, maybe just eliminate some distractions for now, because tonight's going to be very thorough and I don't want you to miss anything good. So go ahead and turn those cell phones off. And again, thanks for carving out some time to be here tonight. I know you could be doing other things. If you have kids, I'm sure there's other things you could be managing. So for the next 45 to 50 minutes, you're going to be hearing about a $1 trillion industry, which equates to the largest economic trend in world history. And we're going to talk, our publicly traded company offers a modern day franchise opportunity. This is unlimited income potential without employees, without inventory, without excessive overhead. So for anybody who has a traditional business, you know what I'm talking about. And we'll share with you how you can capitalize on the timing of this information tonight. So speaking of timing, we're going to go back in time to 2005 when ABC News did a primetime investigative report on this small biotech company out of Colorado. And we know it's antiquated, but we love to share it because it's a critical part of our story. And then we will catch you up to speed as to what we're doing in relationship to this information. But just ask yourself these 2 questions when you're watching. 1, who needs this information? And 2, if you could benefit from this financially, would you be interested in that? Again, we'll fill you in on the company story, where we've come since then. We will talk to you about leveraged income. Kat and I will share our personal stories, and we'll show you how to create a leveraged income stream. Sound good?
The following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. That's pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
And just go again. There we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
As it's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down. And so you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me? But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
35%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
So that's an ABC News clip from 2005. That's just a shortened clip of it. If you want to see the whole thing, you can go to YouTube and just look up Protandim ABC News clip and see the whole thing. But I'm going to start by asking you a question, and that is, had you ever heard of oxidative stress prior to seeing that news clip? I hadn't, and I'd been in the health industry my entire adult life, and I had never actually heard that term. So I'm just going to review what it is, why we have this, why it's relevant to the bigger conversation around leveraged income. So oxidative stress is damage to the cells of our body. It's normal cells turned abnormal. You can see a picture of a cell here, but you can also imagine this being an apple that gets cut open, you leave it out, and it turns brown. That's oxidative stress, and it can lead to brain fog and headaches and migraines, insomnia, anxiety, lots of things, every breakdown you can imagine in your body. But what causes it? Well, everybody take a deep breath. And you just created more oxidative stress in your body. So we can't quite avoid that. But it's also the food that we eat, the chemicals in our water, the pesticides in our food, too much exercise, too little exercise, environmental toxins, EMFs, Wi-Fi, medications. There's really no way around it. This is escalating that increase in oxidative stress that's connected to every single breakdown that can happen in your body. In fact, the updated number, and it's probably higher right now, is 380,907 studies linking oxidative stress to every system, your eyes, your heart, your skin, kidney, joints, everything. So if you're ever curious if it's related to something, you can go to something called pubmed.gov and look up blank and oxidative stress. So You may have noticed that John Quinones, when he took Protandim, his oxidative stress was reduced by 45% in just 2 weeks. That was absolutely incredible. The first study that was done on Protandim showed that taking 1 Protandim a day can reduce oxidative stress an average of 40% just in 30 days, and then continues over time, taking the stress off your cells so you can function better. Now, to my knowledge, now this is me just 13 years in, there has yet to be another company or product that can legally make that claim today. And we can make that legally to reduce oxidative stress an average of 40%. Now, here's the problem. People are pretty tuned into supplements and eating well. You'd have to eat 400 oranges, 500 cups of broccoli, 120 vitamin C tablets a day to do what Protandim does in your body. So we call it like a 1-to-1 ratio. It's like taking Dixie cups of water to put out a house fire. And it's because our body produces about 300 septillion free radicals every single day. We're constantly being bombarded by that. It's like your house being on fire. But when you take Protandim, it's not a supplement. It's not a Dixie cup. It's more like a sprinkler system. It literally turns on a switch called your NRF2 pathway, NRF2 like the football. And when that happens, your body starts producing antioxidants very powerfully like you did when you were younger. So instead of 1-to-1, it's more like 1,000,000 to 1 every second per second. Now, if you want a visual of this, ask yourself, if your house was on fire, AKA your body, are you going to use Dixie cups to try to put it out? Would you ever get ahead of it? Probably not, but you'd prefer a nice up-to-date modern sprinkler system with the fire department on hand. And that is literally what Protandim does. So the question is, who needs that? I hope that you're thinking everybody, like you're thinking, oh my gosh, everybody needs to know that. And that's the exact thought that I had when I really learned about oxidative stress and what Protandim can do. Now, where it all started was 2005. It used to say, for more information, go to abcnews.com, and everybody did. And literally $5 million of orders came into this small biotech company overnight, and there was zero marketing, no marketing systems in place. They had no infrastructure for that kind of demand. And I just want to ask you, if any of you have a business of your own, if you had this happen to you, ABC News comes in, they're there to probably find something negative. They did not here. And would you be able to handle all that exposure? LifeVantage was not prepared for this. However, doctors and researchers from all over the world called LifeVantage and said, we want to study that little yellow pill that can reduce oxidative stress an average of 40%. So today there are over 28 peer-reviewed papers and studies just on this one product, our foundation product of our company. We had LSU that did a skin cancer study with the Skin Cancer Foundation. That propelled the company to create a topical NRF2 activator, a highly, highly anti-aging skincare line. The first study showed that Protandim could reduce oxidative stress an average of 40%. We have the American Heart Association in Ohio State, which did a study showing a decrease in scar tissue when Protandim was introduced. You can go and look at that study at PubMed, and they put that out in Circulation Journal to all the American Heart Association members. It's the first time they'd ever really supported a study like that on a natural product. Even the National Institute of Aging showed that Protandim increased lifespan in their animal model. Comparing Protandim with other things like green tea, resveratrol, omegas, and lots of things you might be familiar with, there was actually a significant increase in lifespan. So what happened? Okay, all these things were happening, and they ended up putting the Protandim in the stores like GNC, CVS, apothecaries all over the country. It sat on the shelf next to vitamin C, which is a very common antioxidant. And it was not an antioxidant. However, because Protandim was really in its own category as an activator, they didn't have anywhere else to put it. It was $50 sitting on the shelf next to vitamin C for $10. What do you think people bought? Okay, they don't even know what oxidative stress is. So they didn't do that well in the stores. They only did about 3 million a year. 4 years into this, in 2009, they bring in a business consultant who takes a look at this ABC News clip, the whole thing, and says, this is absolutely incredible. We can leverage, buzzword of tonight, leverage this ABC News clip to get this word out differently. Okay, just like if you go to a hairdresser or a good physical therapist or chiropractor or anybody, you're likely to just turn around and tell somebody about it. That's called word of mouth marketing, okay? Or network marketing. And today we really call it a micro franchise. That's really the modern term for this. So anyway, the company pulls the product off the shelves. They put it in this new platform, micro franchising, okay, extending this information out through our networks of friends and people that we know. And they went to 11 million in the first year. Okay. They were not doing that. 3 million a year, they went to 11 million. Today, we're about $250 million company in about 30 countries all around the world. And you might be hearing about this for the very first time, which is super exciting when it comes to timing. So now we're going to talk about the 6 components when looking at a business opportunity. This is a business opportunity presentation, and we're going to go over the products. So you understand if this is something just from a product standpoint you're interested in, that is great. But we really want to get home to you the value of what we have here as an income stream. Okay, so we're going to talk about the company, trends in business. We'll talk about the products, which are one component of the opportunity. We're going to talk about our timing, compensation, how you make money here, and the systems in which you do it. Every franchise has a system. So LifeVantage is a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. Why is that important? Because everything is transparent. In this space, there are a lot of companies that move products through a similar kind of platform, and they're private. So you don't always know what's going on at the top. And can you imagine building a big business and then all of a sudden the CEO decides to sell the company, you didn't even know it, and the next day you've lost your business. I love that we don't have to deal with that. In fact, our company was invited a couple of times to close the bell, do the closing bell on Wall Street. So we definitely have that exposure nationally and internationally. We are a debt-free company today. We've sold over 2 billion in Protandim products around the world. We were featured in Entrepreneur Magazine as a stock to buy, as one of the most fundamentally strong impactors of the healthcare sector. We have multiple patents on our product, but that means our products are protected. Nobody's going out there and just doing a copycat Protandim. So that's great. We have all these PubMed studies. We've been featured in Newsweek a couple of times. We have a compensation plan that recently our company spent millions and millions of dollars to literally evolve, and we call it evolve, to represent the current times and what people are looking for in an entrepreneurial opportunity. We're going to talk about our culture, and we're going to talk about trends here, but you can see over here on the right, the Newsweek magazine. That's just a couple of things about the company. And like I said, we're in over 30 countries today. I think this is not totally updated, but I think we're about to open another one, Portugal, I do believe. So again, we started in Colorado, then the US, and here we are all around the world now. All right, another really important thing in the trend conversation are the kind of products that a company has. So all of our products are unique, consumable, meaning, it's not a water bottle company. Love my Stanley, but I don't need one every month. Maybe some people do, but if you're in a business where you have non-consumable items, you really have to be a good salesperson to make any good money versus continuing to create income month after month after month after month. So they are consumable, and that's really important. They're unique and patented. Also approved for the Banned Substance Control Group. That means Olympic athletes and professional athletes can use our products. That's really important. I worked with a professional athlete once, and he said this is so significant because he wasn't even allowed to go into GNC and buy a multivitamin. That's how strict it is in professional sports. So that's exciting that that's not a limitation here. Okay. Now, there's also additional trends, and that is the trends of home-based business, okay? More and more people are looking for ways to create income from home. Why is that? Flexibility, lower cost of doing business, and people are working harder and still getting behind. That's another trend, financial instability. So traditional businesses typically mean high risk, a lot of overhead. A micro franchise lets you start for minimal investment with no staff, no inventory, and no building. So you can really build your income around your life versus your life around your income. And I do believe that that is a trend. People wanting to have just more freedom in what they're doing without the risk. Now let's go over the products. Of course, this is our foundation product right here, Protandim NRF2 Synergizer, lowers oxidative stress an average of 40%. It's made up of 5 plant ingredients: turmeric, milk thistle, green tea, ashwagandha, and bacopa. Most people would say, wow, those are incredible ingredients, okay? And Dr. Kat will verify that. She's going to share here shortly. But that's actually not the unique thing about Protandim. It is this right here. The ingredients at very low doses, not therapeutic doses, subtherapeutic if you broke it apart, but when they put it together, it created something called synergy. That's why we call it Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. It created an 18-fold increase in the expression of the antioxidant enzyme that it activates through the NRF2 pathway. That is huge. Think about if you had the ingredients laid out to make a cake, right? You got your eggs, your oil, your sugar, your flour. They're all different substances until you put them together and it made something totally different. And that's what Protandim is. That is why we were able to get patents on plants, because we created that cake that nobody else could make, and it was different than the individual ingredients. So what else can we activate today? We have gone on to find other pathways. We have become the activation company. I love the name of that, right? We are the activation company. We're not the supplement company, the activation company. We found an NRF1 pathway, which turns on your mitochondrial function. And we've also activated your NAD pathway. This is very similar to fasting. When people fast, it activates this NAD molecule to help with cellular longevity and autophagy. You don't need to get into all the science of all that, but it's a really, really good thing for your cellular health. Now, another synergistic thing that happened when all 3 of these Protandim products came together, we had something else. They exponentially increased the potency of the other. This is why today you can take Protandim Tri-Synergizer. You activate the NRF2 pathway for oxidative stress, your NRF1 pathway to turn on your cellular runners, I like to call them, and activate the NAD pathway for cellular longevity and autophagy to clean things out. We can activate your collagen pathways. Now, you are surely familiar with collagen that you buy at the store. It's usually a powder, maybe it's a liquid, but they are not all created equally. Usually there's 1 or 2 different types of collagen in that supplement. And that is actually not even fully absorbable. They say powder is about 10 to 30% absorbed, where our liquid collagen is about a 90% absorption rate. It's made up of, it does 3 things. So it doesn't just replenish your collagen, it has 10 different types of collagen peptides. There's another buzzword, peptides, okay? And to support collagen density, elasticity, and moisture in your tissues, your skin, your joints, your eyes, your gut. It really affects everything. We also have an ingredient there that activates your collagen pathways to build up your collagen that has been broken down. And then we also have the maintain component of our collagen, which slows down the breakdown of your current collagen. So it activates, replenishes, and maintains. This is very unique in the marketplace. I love this picture specifically. The activator component of this collagen shows this collagen density increase over an 8-week period. Can everybody see that? That just blows my mind. This is the piece about the absorption rate. If you're going to spend the money, get something that your body actually absorbs. And it absorbs because the pieces are broken down. They're called hydrolyzed collagen. It's chopped up into smaller pieces so your body doesn't have to break them down, so it doesn't get wasted. And here are some results. It's very easy to see the results on the outside. A lot of people will say they feel it on the inside too. Their joints feel better. Their gut is better. Men and women, any part of your body. This is why we suggest if you start using our collagen to take lots of pictures, even your hands, because you may not see those subtle changes over time, but if you take those pictures, you definitely will. There's some pictures of legs over here. If you've ever seen like crepey skin as we age and under the neck and everything, big changes. Very unique. When you combine a Protandim NRF2 with a liquid collagen, we call this the healthy glow stack. This is my go-to as a wellness consultant within my practice, because the people that I see are dealing with things like chronic pain and inflammation and dysfunction. So these are kind of like the go-to that I share with people. These two also have a synergistic combination. There's an incredible study on this to show the reduction of cellular stress or the resilience of your cells to stress. So this is one of our most popular bundles. We make peptides. Buzzword, peptides. This PhytoPower is a drink. It's made up of 84 different ingredients, including lots of greens, lots of fruits, lots of probiotics, postbiotics, prebiotics, and it activates 14 specific peptides in your gut to regulate your gut, repair your gut, and restore function. And the gut, it manages a lot. Dr. Kat, again, she might speak to this, I don't know, but your immune health, your brain, your mood, everything starts with your gut. And you can think of this as like an offense and defense when you're combining this with Protandim. So this is called our Healthy Edge Stack, combining Protandim with PhytoPower 1 and 2. The offense is restoring communication and keeping your systems agile and strong, where Protandim is your defense, protecting your cells from the hits life throws your way. You could probably think of one of those right now. We have Axio, which is our smart energy. I love this. This is really a executive function nootropic. I've heard Dr. Kat say that, and I invited Dr. Kat on here because she is a functional medicine doctor, and I will introduce her shortly. But it really is. This will improve your mental endurance, mental acuity, concentration, memory retention, enhances neurotransmitter function, activates these things. So think about it as like reducing brain stress. You probably resonate with the word brain fatigue, right? We get that at the end of the day. And it also impacts mood. My kids use this drink. I use this drink every day, and there's caffeinated and decaf versions. Just last week, our company launched a brand new Axio. It's called Axio X. I'm not going to go into it too much, but it's like next level energy. This truly is that energy drink that competes and wants to replace the Monsters and the 5-Hour Energies and Red Bulls of the world. Look at some of these ingredients if you can see them on the screen. It does have L-theanine and rhodiola. It's got adaptogenic mushrooms, a slew of vitamin B complex, complete B vitamin complex, I'm sorry. It's got natural caffeine, a probiotic blend. It actually incorporates gut health into the energy. So that is a really unique piece. This just came out, super exciting. So these are our main activators. We take them to make them, okay? We take it to make it. Very unique. We're not just taking it to supplement something. We're taking it to empower the body to make what's already there. There are some other products. I'm going to highlight some of these here. One is we do have some weight management products. One is our Mind Body GLP-1 system. This does activate the GLP-1 hormone in the gut when used together with lifestyle, diet, increased water consumption, exercise. The results of this are pretty incredible. I'll just show these here. This is a 2-part system, 2 pills and a powder that you can drink with water, drink in a smoothie. I've been using this product for well over a year, and I can tell you I don't have a weight problem, but I have a food noise problem, and I didn't know I had it. I didn't know that I could not think about food all day long, but I used to. So it's been life-changing for me, and I love it. It really gives me satiety. I feel fuller sooner. I can stop eating when I'm full, whereas before there was kind of like there was a slowdown between my gut and my brain, and I would sometimes overeat and then not feel well. We have a metabolic enhancer called Fat Burn. In the 16-week placebo-controlled study on the main ingredient here, they found that it increased resting caloric expenditure by 180 calories a day. It's just a nice tool that you can use in conjunction with your weight management plan. And new product alert number 2, this also just came out this week. This is Phytopower B that can be used to support healthy weight management by reducing sugar absorption when you do have one of those meals that's just a little overkill. Say your Thanksgiving, your holidays, maybe your Friday night. So it helps slow down sugar absorption, so you have steady energy without the crashes and you feel less sluggish after a high carb meal. So they call it a carb blocker. We have Protandim for dogs. I'm just going to say this, it's like a chewable treat. And oxidative stress does affect your pet just like it does us. It affects their joints and inflammation, their gut, and all these things. So this is fantastic. It's the only nerve 2 activator on the market for dogs. We do have some individual gut health products, probiotic, prebiotic. We have a postbiotic, our immune health drink. It's just a healthy dose of your 5 main immune ingredients. So it's a nice berry flavor. I love to drink this at night. It's like a nice tea. We have some timed nutrients. These are supplemental products, but they are unique in the way that you get the right nutrients in the morning for energy. You get the right nutrients in the evening to help your body settle down. And we do have a D3 plus. We know most people are depleted in that. An omega plus product, which is very, very clean, bottled within 8 hours of the fish being caught. You can literally bite right into this capsule and swallow the oil. So you're not going to have any fish burps and just a disgusting flavor. This is quite good. An Icy Bright is our brain and vision complex. This is fantastic if you are aging and noticing a change in your eyes. Your eyes are also being damaged by oxidative stress, being damaged by being in front of your phone, in front of your computer, all the blue lights. It's, it's just there. So use your blue light glasses and take Icy Bright. And then this is the evolution of that LSU skin cancer study. This is the current True Science anti-aging skincare line. It's a 4-piece regimen. It's lovely. The little red bottle here is a plant-based retinol, essentially. And then we have a very clean sunscreen. This is the best sunscreen I've ever used on my face. I live in Florida, so we use this a lot, and it's super smooth. You can use it with your regular makeup, your regular skincare. No, it's not sticky. There's no white residue. And then we have also an anti-aging hand cream. And lastly, I think this is lastly, we have a hair care system that activates the NRF2 pathway, uses that same technology for your scalp. So if you're having issues with your scalp, too dry, too oily, some kind of weak hair growing in, this will really fix that. So there's our beautiful product line. And this is where I want to introduce Dr. Kat, because Dr. Kat's been working with incredible products for years and years and years and years. Okay. Her background is she's actually a chiropractor and been practicing for over 25 years. I'm going to bring her back on full screen here in just a moment. And she's owned her own business for 19 years. She's a board certified pediatric and prenatal chiropractic care and a certified functional medicine practitioner through the Institute of Functional Medicine. Her mission is to help people achieve better health and empower the gift of life from preconception onward. She's our baby chiro. She's been married for 20 years. She has 2 boys, and she and her husband homeschool their 2 boys. She's an avid traveler. She's going to Thailand soon on an incentive trip she won with this amazing company. She's a gluten-free foodie. She's an autoimmune warrior, and she's had a product experience as well as become an executive leader in our company, and recently was invited to be an appointee on the Scientific Advisory Board for LifeVantage. Wow. There she is.
That's hilarious.
Welcome, Dr. Kat.
Oh, that's so weird to hear about yourself. What did you want me to share about with regards to the products?
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess 2 things. One, would love to hear your product story. How did this come into your hands? And now here you are so many years later. What's your bird's eye view, when you look at what we have in a product line?
Sure. So I actually, I would tell you, like, truthfully, I didn't even try the products before I partnered with the company. And that's because there is research here. There is a validated scientific research. Our products are not on trial. They've been studied. They have patents. Universities and institutions with far more credentials than I have like Harvard, Vanderbilt, Louisiana State. I mean, I don't have those credentials. They did that work, so that's great. But really, what caught my eye once I stepped back and could take that 30,000-foot view is from a product perspective, the ability to access leverage, like you said. For me, that's my favorite word to describe what we have here with these products. It does not mean you don't need to eat well or exercise or sleep or get sunshine, have some sort of spiritual, pursuit in your life. What it means is that we have really intelligent biology, and it's easier to work with that intelligent design than it is to kind of just, I think, work against it. A lot of supplements, and some supplements are needed. So again, no argument there, but supplementation is a little more archaic. It's, 1940s, 1950s. And you have to almost be so precise to know exactly how much depletion someone has in their body. And that requires oftentimes lab work. And there are barriers to access to that for a lot of people. And so there are a fair amount of people who are basically wasting money, adding to their bodies. And that is extra work for your body. So if you're not even good at hydration or you're already depleted in energy, that just requires a lot of energy. So what I love about activation, even though it's not meant to be a cure-all, it's this beautiful kind of, imagine it, instead of adding to your body, kind of flipping a switch. I said to somebody the other day, like, the reason why your dose and my dose and most everybody's doses, unless you're, beyond 350 pounds, our doses are the same. Why? Because we have the same pathways, and all we need is to switch the flip the switch. So if I turn on my light, I cannot turn it more on than on. And so I take one collagen and one Nerf 2. You take one collagen, one Nerf 2. You take it, you get a car, you get a car. So I love that about our products. And so scientifically validated, proven to do what they do, incredible leverage. More than adding to the body, we're telling the body to turn back on to do what it's beautifully designed and programmed to do. There you go.
I don't know if I could explain it any more beautifully than that. And I love how you said, our biology is so intelligent and we're just working with it instead of, trying to add something and, so precise to it. It just, I love that.
Can't outsmart it. We really can't.
You can't outsmart it. Exactly. It's beautiful. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Kat. I'm going to bring her back shortly. Stay tuned. You are here because someone invited you to a business opportunity exploration. You're probably here and you've never even heard of LifeVantage. Maybe you haven't heard of oxidative stress. There are terms here that you haven't heard of, and that's something pretty significant when you're looking at a franchise opportunity. It's ideal if you're going to open up a franchise that not everybody on every corner also has the same franchise. And when that happens, you've hit a tipping point. We still, even after this time and this growth globally, are early. We are still early to the ball game after 13 years. I'm sure Dr. Kat can attest. You've probably only talked to, and I've only talked to a few people who have heard of this before. So that's just very, very exciting. We are still looking for those consultants, those franchise owners who want to come in and build and get this word out there. It is really the perfect side income. Again, no assets, no overhead, no employees. You can work from anywhere. You can work from the beach. You can work when your kids are napping. You can work in between clients. You can work while your kids are at school. We have a customer service call center. You're taken care of. There's huge tax benefits to owning a franchise. You are on a team. So even though you have your own business, you're not alone. We have a corporate leadership and board of directors that takes care of all of the things that are the biggest headache of a traditional business. And we have personal development. That's probably the biggest piece I find in growing a business like this, because we do have to grow ourselves to keep growing this. And we're offered that structure to do it. I know Dr. Kat and I just came back from an immersion where we were there for a couple of days talking about the 7 habits of highly effective people. The Franklin Covey Institute came in and the company invested in them to invest in their leaders. So that's the kind of investment they put into our our consultants. So let's talk about the compensation plan. We call it a balanced plan because we know that some people, they do just want to have customers. They want to create customers. And there is a way to have a strong customer base and make good money. They say customers are like addition in your business, but growing and expanding with other franchise owners is like multiplication. So we learn how to share the products and opportunity. Then we get into another phase of building and growing, and then we get into another phase of leading. And this does shift how we're compensated over time. Now, this is our affiliate component of the compensation plan right here. So for instance, you're going to earn a percentage, the difference between what you pay as a consultant and what your customer pays. It's about a 10% differential, 10 to 20% differential. The difference is you get paid that every single month that people are ordering. So people order month after month after month after month. I'm still earning income off of customers and franchise owners that came in almost 13 years ago. Okay. As a physical therapist, when I treat a patient, I'm done getting paid when they leave. I get paid once and that's it. When they come back again, I get paid. But when they're discharged, I don't get paid on that person anymore. And you might be the same way too in your business. If you have a client base and, if you're sick, your kids are sick, your customer's sick, the weather happens, COVID happens. Hopefully we don't get shut down again, ever again. But things happen. And then it's like turning the water off on a faucet. That's just a little bit unstable. When we can build a leveraged income stream, we don't have to worry about that because we have this subscription model and we've built an organization of other people also expanding their businesses. The leadership component of our compensation plan is a highlight. So when you get to the higher ranks in the company, Dr. Kat and I were going to talk about this shortly, you start participating in executive bonus pool, a leadership pool. The company takes 5% of global commissionable sales, they put it in a pool, and then they share it. Global profit sharing. Now, I don't know another franchise model, even one that's, probably six figures to get started in, that does global profit sharing. This is huge. This really incentivizes the culture in our company so that the people who have been very successful are just as incentivized to reach down and help the newest person. So if you come in as a franchise owner, we're incentivized to reach down and help you get launched. Okay. We have a whole system in place to do that, but you get the mentorship and all the things that we get. Because we are publicly traded, we have the benefit of a public earnings statement, annual earnings statement. Every year, the company has to post this, and this is the average income and the payout of each levels. We have about 15 levels right now, ranks, and you can see. I'm just going to slide down here, where they pay. Some of the highest payouts are up in this level, okay, where people are making $1,700 to $3,400 a month. That's a lot. That's a lot of payout. And this executive one here, average income $14,489 a month. That's where they're paying out a lot of money. What that's telling you is that people are having success here. I'm one of those people, okay? I'll tell you a little bit about my story here, and then I'll invite Dr. Kat back. But I have been in the health and fitness industry my whole life. I was a fitness professional. I taught all the group exercise classes. So I've been in that trading my time for money since college. And I was very, very job oriented. And in order to make more money, I had to take on more hours. Well, that's really difficult when, your priorities shift. I became a mom at 34 for the first time. I had a full-time practice that I decided to downsize because it's like having a child. A traditional business is like having a child. And I wanted to be a more present parent at the time. I knew I didn't want to work the same way, but I did not have an answer to creating any income that I could do from home. I was introduced to LifeVantage after my second son was born, and I was still just trying to figure out another way that I could offset the income that I was earning just doing some part-time physical therapy, independent contractor. That could offer me some financial stability because I still wanted to contribute to my house. I just didn't want to give all my time away, even though I love patient care. It was more important for me to be more present with my babies while I could. And now that they're teenagers, I thought they took a lot of time when they were little. They take so much more time. If you have a teenager, you know that, between sports and all the things that they have to do, it requires a lot of time. So I came into this because I was just blown away by that product, honestly. I was like, I'm certainly going to take that. I'm certainly going to be able to show that ABC News clip. Why would I keep that from anybody? I had never done anything in this kind of platform, network marketing or franchise, where it was just about inviting people and connecting people. I had never done anything, but I knew that if I could make just enough money to offset my hours as a physical therapist, I could help fund things that I wanted to do for my children without trading all my time away. I hope that's making sense. And over time, the business kept growing. I treated it like a business. I went to the professional conferences. And then within a few years, I was this executive consultant one. That was pretty life-changing money for me. That gave me the ability to take a sabbatical for a short period of time. That has now given me the ability to treat very part-time because I want to, not because I have to. And I don't miss the milestones that are so important for me and my children. Now, Dr. Kat has a similar story. Whoops. Before I go on to this, but actually maybe I'll thread it into this, because Dr. Kat, as I mentioned when we first started, is about to go to Thailand and take her son on a trip of a lifetime. And she's been to all these places. She's also earned a Jeep. She's been to South Africa. We all went to Alaska this past summer. The company offers incredible incentives just for you building your own franchise. So without further ado, I'm going to have Dr. Kat come back on here.
You want me to share my story too?
Yes. Tell us,
Okay.
you're a successful chiropractor, you're a functional medicine practitioner, you're successful financially. Why would you step into a micro franchise?
Why would I do that? Why would I do this?
Yes.
Well, I did come in kicking and screaming. It's about 11 years ago. This April will make 11 years that I was introduced to this information, but it took me until close to September of that year, so 10 and a half years ago, for me to move forward. But when I was introduced to this information, I had a 4-year-old and an almost 2-year-old. I had 5 years approximately of infertility to have them. I had become a chiropractor before I'd had my kids. I chose that career for a lot of reasons, but one of the things that I always loved about chiropractic is the hours are a little better than emergency medicine and some of the other fields in healthcare. And I love what I do. I love what I did, and I love what I do. I get to do it instead of have to do it now, like Kathleen. And so essentially, what was initially just access to products for patients became a plan B, and then became more of a plan A. My experience with this leveraged income opportunity and part-time, very consistent, but part-time work, building this business in the true nooks and crannies of my life, just has multiplied the benefit for my family. I think I've been on 15 or 16 in 10 years, all expenses paid, trips with my family mostly. And this time I'm getting to go with my eldest son. My husband's not interested in 20 hours of plane flights. And then just the capacity to just step back from practice, but still get to do it. And it's truly something that I'm just going to invite everybody to never assume that that someone doesn't need something else. Sure, I had financial stability, but I didn't have any time. I didn't have time with the babies that I had worked so hard to have. Right. I didn't want somebody else to see all of their firsts. And I always have wanted to be there for them and get to do that. So that's where I'm at today. So I invite you and encourage you that don't assume that anybody doesn't need this. Everybody should have the opportunity to experience a chance.
I love that. It's a really great gift, having been in the health industry, you and I both, really, our whole adult lives, to be able to offer that financial health piece that we never had access to. We couldn't treat a patient and say, oh, we can changed your family's life with this financial opportunity. It's really near and dear to my heart, actually, because I knew that's what I needed. I needed the flexibility, and that has been life-changing to have that time. We're going to wrap up here. Thank you all for hanging in there. I know we had some stories to share. We have a very simple system, okay? And you get that for as part of your investment in your micro franchise that comes with it. We just launched a brand new website. We have a full getting started launch guide via video. You have a full team of support. You'll meet all those people when you get started. And this is our culture. Like I said, you have your own business, but you're not by yourself. This has become a family, a second family to me. We have a lot of fun together. They've become some of my best friends, for sure. I invited some of my best friends. In fact, those are the people I wanted to invite to look at this the most, are the people that I love and respected the most in my life. And that has, the ripple effect of that is a little bit of what you see here on the screen. And I don't know what you're looking for, whether it's time flexibility, whether it's purpose, whether it's community, whether you're truly needing another stream of income, whether you're looking for that leverage in your life, financially and health-wise, we have a solution for you. And so you're falling into one of three categories at this point. One is, this is all very interesting. I'd love to do some research. Maybe you're really, really into science and stuff. That's great. You don't have to be, but if you are, we have it. You can go to pubmed.gov. We have private Facebook groups as well on the products and science. So make sure that the person that invited you adds you to those groups so you can take a look. And just keep in mind, there's always stuff on the internet that's tries to get you from one side of the internet to the other to sell you something different. They do that usually through negative wording and things. There's always that stuff out there. So we do recommend going straight to the LifeVantage website. The person that invited you has a personal link to that website. You might be interested in starting out as a customer. It's a great place to start, having your own transformation, in your health. If that's really where you're at and you need to address that first, we have a great customer program. You can earn credits towards your product. We have a subscription program so you can save money. And also we have bundled products where you can save money. In fact, we have some things that are on promotion through this month. One of them is the Mind Body program, the GLP-1. So if that's interesting to you, that's on sale. And if you're like us, like Dr. Kat and I, and you're looking for other ways to create some balance in your life, whatever that is, you pick a franchise pack. Okay. There's a level that you can get in on that fits for you. And there's other packs here that have different combinations of products, but these are kind of the general price points. There's a $350 pack, a $489 pack, a $999 pack. I think the smallest pack is $250. And it comes with a small selection of products. And then month to month, you are just your own best customer. You get to order these incredible products from your own store. How about that? I love that. And it actually, your own order helps you grow in your rank. It actually helps contribute to your own compensation plan. So this largest pack here is a 29% savings on all the products one time, and you get literally all the products, I think, except the hair care in the biggest pack. This is just one of the big packs. And so you get to try everything. You also get a couple of registrations to our company conference. We're going to Vegas in April, and then we have our global conference in October. And you can come to those and do what Kat and I did. We plugged in, we treated it like a business. We learned from the people who are successful and found a lot of success here and a lot of community, a lot of support, a lot of purpose, and a lot of fun. So with that, just make sure you get back with the person that invited you tonight. They want to know just what category you're in. Are you in 1, 2, 3? What questions do you have? We would love to get on the phone with you and chat a little bit more, answer your questions. And with that, I just want to say good night and thank you for your time. Thanks, Dr. Kat.
Thanks for having me.